So when we're talking about a 16-hour fast, is that really enough to actually see the benefits? Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance. Okay, the first thing that we need to consider is that when you're fasting 16 hours, you're actually fasting a lot longer than the average American or the average person who just wakes up first thing in the morning to eat right away and then eats all the way up until right before bed. With this type of strategy or like lack of strategy, that person is only getting like an 8-hour fast. Versus when you're strategically doing a 16-hour fast, you're literally doubling the amount of gut health time you get, the amount of time that the insulin storing hormone is going to dip down and turn on fat burning mechanisms. So it's an extra 8 hours worth of benefit that you're getting versus if you didn't fast at all. So if your goal is weight loss with intermittent fasting, during that 16-hour fast, you're storing hormone insulin's dipping down, which naturally allows the body to ramp up fat burning. Plus there's elevated growth hormone levels, which also helps to ramp up fat burning and protects your muscles from breaking down. There's also the really added perk that is one of my favorite things about intermittent fasting of gut cleaning during this time. So when you have a 16-hour intermittent fast, you actually get at least 2 full cycles of gut cleaning from a pathway called the migrating motor complex. This literally flushes out left behind food and bacteria that would normally cause bloating if you weren't fasting at all. So for someone who's not fasting and they're only really fasting when they're sleeping, they're not really getting much, if any, of this gut cleaning process because it's only turned on when we're not eating. Okay, the second thing I want to point out is that longer fasts can actually sometimes be worse. So we often see this really extremist point of view where like, okay, if intermittent fasting is great, then even longer fasts are going to be even better. But that's really not the case, especially if your goal is primarily weight loss. So if you're doing like the 3-day fast after like a long weekend or something, this isn't going to help you. It's just going to cause that yo-yo dieting approach. When you have these longer fasts, whether it be like a OMAD approach, which is 1 meal a day, or when you're alternate day fasting where you're not eating for an entire day and then eating the next day and then not eating the next, this makes it so that you are likely never able to eat enough protein for your body's needs. And protein is the main nutrient that helps to maintain our body's metabolic rate, which is why a lot of people who first start intermittent fasting, especially if they're doing these longer fasts, initially see fast weight loss results because they're essentially in this semi-starvation state, but then they start to plateau or even gain weight. And that's because they're losing muscle mass, which is reducing their basal metabolic rate and making it easier to gain weight. This is the same issue you see with just typical calorie restriction, which is why I don't recommend really long daily fasts, especially ones that don't allow you to get enough protein in to support your metabolism. Instead, what we need to do is balance out fasting with eating. I know, sounds crazy, but we do need to eat and we do need nutrients to maintain our muscle mass and to maintain our metabolism. So okay, at this point, you're probably like, Autumn, all this sounds great, but I'm currently using a 16-hour fast and I'm not achieving the weight loss goals I'm looking for. Well, I got you. Here are actually 5 ways that you can accelerate your weight loss results with a 16-hour fast without breaking your metabolism. The first thing is to not snack during your eating window. Sticking to true meals, whether it be like a 2-meal or 3-meal structure, where you're actually getting enough protein between all those meals, allows for your body to have breaks even during your eating window. This allows the storing hormone insulin to naturally dip down and allows the body to more easily shift back and forth from a state of fat burning. Plus, if we consider what snacks are, they're usually low in protein or they're high in sugar. So just regardless, snacks are typically not going to be a great option from a weight loss perspective. Okay, the second thing you can do is to add in walks. So specifically, take a look at how much you're walking per day right now. If you have a iPhone that keeps track of how many steps you get, or if you have a fitness watch, then look at what you're roughly getting and try to add on about 2,000 to 3,000 steps from there a day. Adding that on every single day can actually be transformational. Because walking is a low intensity exercise that primarily uses fat as fuel, it's a pretty easy thing to add into your lifestyle that could make a really big difference with intermittent fasting. Okay, the third thing is to not eat late. So this is taking a look at your actual fasting and eating window and trying to have your eating window a little bit earlier in the day. So it's really popular for a while to have like a 12 p.m. to an 8 p.m. eating window. And if that works for your schedule, great. If that's the only way that you can get dinner in, I'd rather you do something that works for your schedule than try and make something work that's not going to work for you. But if you have the flexibility to eat earlier, like let's say at 6 p.m. for your last meal, this has actually been found to help see better weight loss results with intermittent fasting than eating later. Okay, the fourth is to cut out all sugary drinks. I'm talking about fruit juice, I'm talking about sugary lattes, obviously soda, Anything that contains sugar in a liquid form really spikes the storing hormone insulin and just shifts the body into a state of fat storing. So it's kind of just reversing a lot of the benefits you just got with your intermittent fast. Okay, the fifth thing is to focus on protein, fat, and fiber when you go to break your fast and at every meal. This combination is naturally low in sugar, it naturally helps stabilize blood sugar levels, and it's not extremely insulin spiking. So you can kind of like double down on those same perks that you're getting with your intermittent fast. This is the same structure that I use with all of my meals within the complete intermittent fasting bundle that has helped thousands of men and women around the world. So if you are brand new to intermittent fasting, or if you've been using intermittent fasting for a while and you're just not seeing the results you're looking for, highly recommend you check out my complete intermittent fasting bundle. I'll have it linked down description below, but you can also find it at autumnlnutrition.com/shop. Now, understanding how much protein you need per day is a huge factor for success with intermittent fasting. Helps to maintain your metabolism, helps to shut off hunger, and it's a really useful tool for achieving a body recomposition goal, which is where you're losing body fat but not losing muscle. So if you don't know how much protein you should be eating per day, make sure you check out this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.